Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Garvey Theater Thursdays. Gonna go ahead and start this recording as well.
Recording in progress.
Welcome everybody, it's Garvey Theater Thursdays with Garvey Studios Talent Development Program. What do we want to show here? I'll just do the content. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Garvey Theater Thursdays.
Give it possession and ownership of the world. And you have been so down to deity that you have allowed the other fellows to run away. God made man Lord of his creation. Give it possession and ownership of the world. And you have been so down to deity that you have allowed the other.
Welcome in, welcome in. It's funny how your glasses look. Hey, welcome in everybody. It is Garvey Theater Thursdays. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, let's start out with the clips, okay? Welcome everybody. We're on, correct?
Yep.
Welcome everybody. I am Arnold Penix, aka A. Gregory Harris, and I am the producer. And
There you go, Mr. Garvey.
I'm gonna do that when I do the scenes, okay? I just want to listen to you. Come on into the room, everybody, and we're gonna be definitely working out some different things today. I want you to take a look at a couple clips. When I started in the industry and became a talent developer, I decided to become a talent developer because of the fact that a lot of artists were being compromised in the entertainment industry. As we hear all these different types of stories about the Me Too movement and different types of compromises that artists in the music industry and artists in the recording industry, of course, and in the film industry have been put upon. So Garvey Studios Talent Development is about training those with the talent to be able to live in integrity and fight to share their art with the world. So what we're going to do is I started just like any other actor started, and I'm in a clip from Ninja Turtles 2, and also we're going to go from Ninja Turtles 2 right into the 29th Street, which was one of my first films at DGA Studios in Wilmington, North Carolina. So we're going to take a look at that, then I'm going to analyze what's happening, how that came about to do that before we get right into the training session and the warm-ups. So make sure you come into the room, get yourself into some loose clothing so you can start working out, because you're going to be, the method that I teach is called the astrology method. So please, let's play those little quick clips to give you some little due diligence on who I am and how I came to be, and let's see what we can do to make sure that you reach your dreams and your goals in life with doing your work as an artist. So you heard the Garvey clip and everything. That's Marcus Garvey, and then you heard the cadence of his voice. And I'll definitely be doing scenes from the portrait of Marcus Garvey. And here's this clip from Ninja Turtles 2. Had a great time with Vanilla Ice in Wilmington, North Carolina, DGA Studios. It was a Halloween party, believe it or not. And his birthday is actually October 31st, Vanilla Ice. And we talked, and I was doing drug prevention as Arnold the Drug-Free Recruiter. And Arnold the Drug-Free Recruiter is featured in this film. And in the crowd, the Go Ninja crowd. See, can you pick me out of the crowd? You ready? Let's see. Everybody, go Ninja, go, go. And he's in there. And it's kind of hard to see because this is a downgrade. But then we're going to freeze frame so you can see what's going on. As am I there, engineer? There, and there is Arnold, the drug-free recruiter in the Ninja Turtles 2 film. And I have to tell you, the whole crew, the behind-the-scenes story behind this clip is that everyone from the camera grips and the production assistants all came to talk to me because each one of them had a story about how drug abuse had affected their families. So during that time, crack was very, very, very big, and it was destroying a lot of lives. And I was able to represent the fight against drugs with Arnold's Army against drugs, and the producer and the director of Ninja Turtles 2 decided to feature my image on the screen. And the funny thing about it, everyone, is that during the dailies, they have something called dailies in movie making. And the dailies, they would shoot the scenes, and then they would come back at the end of the evening and watch the dailies. And during the rest of the shooting, the producer and the director didn't know who I was. But the first AD works with the director, kept taking shots of my face and the hat with the wings. And the director came to me and said, "Who are you? And why is my first AD in love with your face?" Not knowing that I was the face of Garvey. And it was my way of indirectly putting the Garvey image into this major blockbuster film. So the face of Marcus Garvey was infiltrated into this Ninja Turtles 2 movie, and I was very happy about that. But I was able to get my message across. I didn't say anything. I just said, "Go Ninja, go Ninja, go." But through that, I was able to launch my army against drugs in New York City, and I traveled to all the YMCAs across the country, and also in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. So that's how Arnold, the Drug-Free Recruiter, was born in the Ninja Turtles 2 movie. So yeah. So now the next thing I went on, and I did something called 29th Street. Now we know everybody, I'm a number runner as well. So that means I love to give numerology numbers. I was on KISS FM for a year and a half doing Numerology Tuesdays. So this film was the first New York City lottery winner in New York City. The film was called 29th Street. And what does 29 add up to? 2 and 9 is 11. Okay, 9, 10, 11. So 29th Street, me being born 7/11, July 11, I had no idea at the time that I was being in a film that vibrated my number as a numerologist. And so 29th Street is the film. Do we have that clip, engineer?
Yeah.
The King Julian? Let's play the 29th Street. I'm on the subway now. People didn't know how to ride the subway, but I knew how to ride because I had worked in NBC at Saturday Night Live, and I was able to show people how to ride the subway. So the producer of that film said, "Use Arnold." And so can you see my reaction when New Yorkers win the lottery? We're going into the train station now, and I'm leaning against the pole. Big man, he realizes that he has the winning lottery ticket. Okay, there I am on the pole with the hat on, big man. And of course, I throw my fist up in the air. And everybody's excited because when you win money in New York, that's what it's about. So thank you, King Julian. Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Then one more time. Can you see me? There I am on the pole. That's not me behind him. That's me right there on the pole. I throw my arm up in the air. And this was a wonderful experience. And you too, this is how I got my training, everybody. And that's what this workshop is about. Garvey Studios Talent Development is about training you to work on all aspects of filmmaking, all aspects of theater. Today we're going to be using theater training because I believe that the most accomplished actors from Denzel Washington on to Forrest Whitaker is that you have to be trained in the theater and then you can do work in the film and television industry. The film and television industry, they're called talent. And in the film and in the theater, you're called actors and actresses. All right? So what we're going to do is explain the method. The method that I'll be teaching is called the astro acting method. What is that, you might say? The astro acting method is a method that uses the astrology, 12 zodiac signs, to choose character, make character choices. Now, Marcus Garvey was born August 17th, and that's 8th day, 1 and 7 is 8, which is ruled by the planet Saturn, which is Capricorn. And he was definitely into building prosperity and wealth because the number 8 is about prosperity and wealth. It also deals with the fact that you may have a lot of money at one time, and then of course you're a bit low on your finances. And that's the number 8, financial. So Marcus Garvey was about economic empowerment, black pride, and he was all about building wealth for our community, correct? So that's what this is about, you being a high profile, high value artist. As I said earlier before, I'm coming up doing things of this nature because I refuse to pay the toll. They call paying the toll. Pay the toll is there now is being revealed in this 9-year, 2025, that things are coming that was done in the dark are being brought to the light, and that's what happens in the number 9. Today, on our shooting day, it's also the 9th, it's the 18th, 1 and 8 is 9. So this is September 19th. Happy birthday, Sanaa Latham and Columbus Short. That's their birthdays. How you doing? Yep, this is our numerologist, Gregory Harris. Happy birthday, Sanaa. You are a beautiful lady. You really are. And definitely Columbus, keep that temper down. Keep that temper down, Virgo. You know how you are. So anyway, enough of that, because as you know, I'm a celebrity life coach as well. But I'm also an actor. So I'm going to be training, so all of our BAF members could come on into the room, get yourself ready for your breathing exercises, and as we learn the astro acting method, King Julian's going to lead us through some wonderful breathing techniques and get you ready and loose so you can go through your whole training. We're going to be doing this every week, so you're going to definitely have a moment to polish your instrument, which is your body, so you can develop what? Your technique and your skills. Okay, Julian.
All right, everybody, let's go ahead and sit up real tall. Let's go ahead and get some breath from the belly. That's our root chakra and our solar plexus and our sacral chakra. So we want to bring it all up from down there, which we just heard from Marcus Garvey. So we want to connect to those roots. That's the first place that we have to have, and I'm wearing a lot of red. That's with the red and the signifying the blood here, and then the soil and the land and the black people. So we got RBG. So let's go ahead and take all that we just learned from Marcus Garvey and go ahead and breathe that breath, that Marcus Garvey breath, all right? So let's go ahead, breathe in. And breathe out. We're breathing in, breathe in love, breathe in resilience, and breathe out. Breathe out anything that doesn't serve our people. Breathe in everything that serves our people. Breathe in all the strength, resilience, and breathe out those foes that Marcus Garvey was talking about. Breathe in like you really mean it. All the way from the gut. Breathe in. And breathe out. And the reason I play this beat, this is the Nyabingi beat, one of the first beats of the djembe that connects us to our roots and our ancestors. That's the heartbeat. We're all connected through the heartbeat. So thank you, Marcus Garvey. Thank you, Brother Arnold.
King Julian Arnold Garvey, they call me.
Arnold
And it's
Garvey.
the reason why it's interesting because I led the Garvey parade for 10 seasons, 10 years they say, on his birthday in Harlem, New York, with a Garvey organization, the UNIA there. And it was very, very interesting, and the fact that also the African American Day Parade, I did not know that I had the countenance of Marcus Garvey until I was asked to play him at the Schomburg Museum in a museum type of play in which all these historical figures came to life, okay? Just give you some history on my trek as representing Mr. Garvey. I did realize after much research and when I became a numerologist that I have the same numbers as Marcus Garvey. So it's not so much me looking like him or having the physicality of him, but also having the energy and the that comes with him. He was born in 1886, and he was born the year of the boar pig, which is a Chinese astrology. I'm born in the year of the boar and 19. I always do that, y'all. I'm 39. The reason why I say I'm 39 is because Martin Luther King and Malcolm X did not live to see 40. They both died at 39 years of age. So that's my tribute to them as black leaders. And so being that I am similar in energy as Marcus Garvey and have the physicality and being an actor, it was the universe's way of bringing me into the stage of life and finding my purpose. And I suggest that whatever you do, find the purpose. That's the most important thing you can do in your life is find your purpose. And I found my purpose, and I've had instances when people will come up to me and just start hyperventilating, especially when I do the character voice. The reason why I'm wearing these shades is because I go into the character, and then I will remove them when I go into the character. But right now, I want you to hear me and see me as I try to train you before you get into the whole physical aspects of donning and embodying this character. So that's why the use of the glasses and the sunglasses. But they will be removed as time permits when we do our scene work. So the next thing you're going to learn is your vocal. You got to warm your voice up, okay, in order to be an actor. So, and you also have to have correct diction. Even though Marcus Garvey spoke with an accent, sometimes you have to use a little, as an artist, you can't imitate a person. You have to embody the person and at the same time be able, so you can, two things, you have to be seen. I was talking about the lighting today. I said two things you have to be on stage. You have to be seen and you have to be heard. Those are the two most important things in being in a production or being an actor. So as we develop this Zoom network, we're going to be doing more with making sure everyone is seen with lighting and also heard with sound, okay? And those are the two basic things you have to have in order to have a professional production. But as we develop this network with the BAF Solutions Network, I invite you to become a part of it and join us in the studio audience and be a part of our VIP seating. And at the same time, like I say, if you look on the table, you see this box here. Envision You is our corporate sponsor for the BAF Solutions Network. And I am, of course, a member of the Envision You family. So I'm excited about having a project such as the BAF Solutions Network in order to promote positive, healthy health and wellness, which is all our products are. And so it's just very, very exciting. So, okay, this is the first tongue twister. I'm not going to do the weather one because we do that on Hump Day. So I advise you to come and join us on Hump Day here at the BAF. But this is weather. The weather is that's oh no. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. You're gonna practice that as many times. When you're just walking around the house, practice that. And then the next one is kind of a more difficult one, but it's definitely necessary. She sells seashells by the seashore. Everybody. She sells seashells by the seashore. Again, she sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, very good. And some of you may come up with some tongue twisters of your own. So first of all, you got to have your body warmed up, and you got to have your breathing together. So you won't, because a lot of people become what? It's called stage fright. A lot of people become stage fright on the stage. And that's a natural thing because your adrenaline is going before you go out. And if you're a Toastmaster or a public speaker, these techniques are transferable, okay? And also how you should look up when you read, if you're doing a speech, make sure that you set eye contact and glance down and then look up, glance down and look up, and watch the ums. People say, da 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 da, da 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 da. We don't want that. Just make sure, just take a breath, take a beat, and before you say just take a beat, and then speak, as I'm speaking to you now, without Then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna go down to the lake and see how frustrating that could be when someone is not speaking clearly to you. All right? So that's a short little lesson for you as well. Now the astro, as I said before, what is your zodiac sign? As I think about your zodiac sign, think about things that you do. I give a brief rundown of character traits of a Aries. An Aries character trait is that they're very, very impulsive. They're very, very go-getter. They're very, very energetic, very childlike. Why say childlike? Because their spiritual age is from 1 to 7 years old. So any Aryan, female or male, are very, very active and very energetic, and they are definitely people who will take a chance and with the horn, with the ram horn, they'll bust through the door. And a lot of times it could be to their benefit, and a lot of times it could be to their detriment. The next one is the Taurus. Taurus is a bull, and says, if we say that one of the character traits is what? Taurus is who? What? Stubborn. So Taurus is slow. Taurus likes to sleep. Taurus likes money. So these are the character traits of Taurus. Just a little bit at a time. Next one is Gemini. Gemini, what is the character traits of Gemini? What the character traits of Gemini is they like to, I did a didn't I? The character traits of Gemini is they like to multitask. While they're doing one thing, they're thinking of another thing. They're thinking about, when they're in a situation, they're thinking about where they have to go next. And when they get to that location, they think about the next location they have to go. They live in a transient type of energy, okay? They are transient. They're always in the flow of going somewhere or something else they have to do. And they're also very, very talkative. They actually can fall in love. They love to speak. They love to communicate. They love to tell their stories. They love for people to engage with them because they are about communication, ruled by Mercury, the planet Mercury. And that's very, very important for you to know. They also have a strong like for fashion, believe it or not. So they are usually always dressed in a certain way. The colors are coordinated. They actually can fall in love with a person who dresses very, very well. That person could be the worst thing in their life, but if they look good, Gemini is down with them, okay? So just you need to know that about that character trait. Then you have Cancerian. The Cancers are very, very, very emotional. They feel. They go into the modus operandi of that they are feeling, and they definitely care to the point of detriment, to the point that it can really hurt them because they can really go into a whole emotional state over a situation or relationship. Cancers are very nurturing. They mother. I call myself. I'm a Cancer, 7-11. I call myself the mother brother. This is out of love that I'm doing this here at this location at this BAF. This is love. I am trying to share the knowledge. As you saw, I've been around NBC and movies and things of that nature. But one thing I did refuse to do, as I told you earlier, is to sell my soul, because your soul is very, very, very important. Because once you sell your soul, you're walking around in an empty shell and someone else owns you. And that's why I'm incorporating the astro acting method. So you don't have to sell your soul, but you need to know other souls. The next one is zodiac sign is Leo. Now Leo is very, very, very active. They're the center of attention. They love to be noticed. They love to be seen. Some of the most sexy and attractive women are Leos. We have Holly Berry, for example. We have Whitney Houston. We have Jennifer Lopez. And the list goes on and on and on. And one thing about them, they are so into finding love. You know, Whitney always sang about love, if you notice that. So that's an interesting character trait. So, and they're good-hearted people because, but one thing about the trait of a Leo is that they have to approve of you. If they don't approve of you, then you'll know it. But when they approve of you, they just watch you as because they sit like a king and like a queen. They're very regal and very royal because, and once they realize that you are a good person, they'll take care of you. They will be very, very much like the pride in Africa, and the king and the lion looks over the pride, and the lionesses go out and get the food, and they make sure everybody is working in harmony. Then you have the character traits of Virgo. Now, Virgo, they're a little bit older. Leo is like the perfect age. They're like 28 to 35, okay? 28 to 35 in your life trajectory, you are a grown person, okay? Cancer, if I just have to say, is like, it's almost like Cancers are still trying to find their way. They, you know, a lot of them stay home with their parents for a long period of time. They're always in a transient situation trying to make it into adulthood. Now, Gemini is always like a kid. You know, they're 14 to 28. That's their spiritual age. So now, no matter how old your body ages, whatever the energy that's in that body, that's how you will be for the rest of your life, okay? So these are the things you can consider when you say, I'm playing a doctor. What is my doctor's character? I think my doctor is a Sagittarius. Okay, I think my doctor is an Aries. How would the Aries doctor behave? They'd be like, I think my doctor is a Cancer, you know. And that's how Patch Adams and Robin Williams was a clear example of how comical and how lively a doctor can light up the room, how cancers can light up the room, and then cancer can bring you down to the depths of depression. But cancers as actors have an emotional range that is far exceeds anyone in the zodiac. One thing interesting, I was telling King Julian that he's born the same day as Meryl Streep. And Meryl Streep is touted as the best actor and around. And even the orange one, he made a comment about that. She's overrated. She's overrated. But she's definitely a very strong actress because Cancer, one thing what makes Cancers good actors, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Cancer, what makes Cancers good actors is because they are very, very observant of human behavior. They really look at people and they really study how people move, how they do everything, and to the point that it's kind of like a photographic memory, and they can pull it up and imitate a lot of people. That's why you see a lot of people like Eddie Griffin is a comedian and all of that. So those are the spiritual ages. But when you get to Virgo, okay, Virgo, I tell you, Virgo is very interesting because Virgo is a perfectionist, okay? So if you want to play a character that's definitely, everything has to be perfect and everything has to be right, and you know, to the point that, you know, when they step out the house, some of the most beautiful women, like I said, Sanaa Lathan, happy birthday, Sanaa. Sanaa actually has all my soulmates, and I think she's quite sexy, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I've got to hold it together. But anyway, because I'm a Cancer, and Cancer's like, who? Virgos. They really attracted to those type of women. And the men are definitely interesting because the male Virgos they take on older mentors. That's interesting about the male Virgo. They take on older gentlemen who can help them through their life because they really want to be the best at everything. So they seek older, more knowledgeable people. And I noticed that as coming through the industry, a lot of the people that I would mentor would be young Virgos because they want to know, because the people their age, and why is that? Because they spiritually are in their 40s, okay? Even though they're kids. I've seen little kids running around here at the Kemet Club, and they're little Virgos. One actually is born the same day as Tyler Perry, and he is definitely a little adult. He really is, and I'm like, okay. And a lot of times the reason why parents have problems with Virgo children is because they get bored in school. So homeschooling is best for those kids who were born in the time of Virgo. My father was born in Virgo 9/9. Okay, then we move into Libra. Now Libra is the laid back, charming, they think they move like they have the human air conditioner. So if you want to play a character that has the Libra charm and the beauty, and that's how they move. They never abrupt or anything like that. And if they do, it's because there was an injustice. If you notice, a lot of Eva's Reverend Jesse Jackson is a Libra, and they fight for justice. And so, but they also like lovers, you know what I mean? And they definitely want to be out there. So these are the playboy types and the heartbreakers, I call them. So if you're playing a female character, she's gorgeous, beautiful, a heartbreaker. If you're playing a male Libra, he is definitely charming until they don't get what they want. So that's one of the whole things about these characters. Will Smith is a Libra. He definitely personifies the Libra because he's born on the 25th, which is the 7th, so he's very adaptable. So he's born on the 25th of September. Jada is actually a Virgo. She's born on the 18th. Matter of fact, tomorrow is Jada Pickett's. Today is Jada Pickett's birthday. No, tomorrow. Today's the 18th. Oh, so now your birthday's tomorrow. Jada, your birthday's today. Hey, Jada. Girl, I'll tell you, I need to talk to you. Jada's born the year of the boar pig like me. Jada. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna get with you, but this is not what it is. But she, of course, Jada's a wonderful actress. You know, she does wonderful things. I don't think I remember. She did a movie called Woo. She was like, Woo. I said, okay, all right, Woo. Foo or something, I don't know. Anyway, Jada, we already know she's a 9. She's ruled by the planet Mars. She has a lot of masculine energy because of the 1. So women who are usually born with the 1 in front of their name. My ex-fiance was born on the 16th. Her birthday was yesterday, and she had a lot of male energy because of the number 1, which is ruled by the sun, and then 6, which is ruled by Venus. And the 1 and the 6 is in conflict with each other because 6 is carnal and sensual and Libra, and 1 is, the sun and forthright and a leader. And then that 6, so it's kind of like a fight between those numbers. So the energies, you'll see that in your character development. Then we go on to Scorpio. Now Scorpio is very interesting because Scorpio is extreme. Scorpio is always investigating. They always see things that they think are there because I'll give you a perfect example. Sean Combs is born November 4th, okay? Sean Combs is a Scorpio. Sean Combs is also ruled by the number 4, which is justice and law and order. And people who do not follow justice and law and order become victims of justice and law and order. As we are seeing in his trial, that because he's born on the 4th, there's a problem. Beyonce is also born on the 4th, September 4th. So, she's dealing with a lot of things as well as far as justice and law and order. So if you are born on the 4th, the 4 energy is about working hard and perfection. Even though King Julian is born on the 22nd, he doesn't add up to a 4 because master numbers don't compute those numbers. I'm born on the 11th. He's born on the 22nd. We are master energies. So we are definitely different. So we don't add up. He doesn't add up to 4 really. He has some traits on it, and I don't add up to 2. I add up to master number 11. And I use all of this in the astro acting methods. That's why I'm going to explain it to you guys today, so that way we won't have to go so much in depth for the members. They can go back and just watch this Zoom video, and they get all the information that they need so we can get into our work. The next one is, after Scorpio, is Sagittarius, right? Oh, Lord, Sagittarius. Oh, the Sagittarius and that mouth, okay? Sagittarius will come out and tell you what it is. They take people on. They're really good-hearted people, but they don't play. That means you got to be, because they're older spirits. They're kind of like, and they're basically moving into their 50s, okay? As definitely as young children, they are always the talented little kids, all of them Mouseketeers. I guess with the little white singer that's had a little problem, blonde-haired, singer that she was.
Justin Bieber?
No, it's a female. She was a Mouseketeer with the other ones, and she became very famous. And she married somebody in Vegas, and she's a Sagittarius. You know what I'm talking about? She's a very, very known, very famous, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, young singer that was a dancer, and she was on the
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears is a Sagittarius. And Britney Spears is looking for love because Sagittarius is always looking for love. Sagittarius is always shooting that arrow, boom, trying to catch somebody. But what happens is they have bad judgment because they get crowded with the romance. And they do believe in romance, but at the same time, they're very smart people. So if you're going to play a character that's a Sagittarius, realize that they are very talented, very educated, but they're nerdy people in the beginning of their lives. Look at the Jaleel White, who played Urkel. He was actually, Sagittarius are very nerdy type of book smart people when they're children. When they realize that people are not as smart as they are, that's where you get the Don Kings and the Richard Pryors. Because Richard Pryor was kind of like a little nerdy kid, you know, and placed in his situation, growing up the way he did, and which is a whole nother movie. Which they had cast Marlon Wayans, as far as acting is concerned. Marlon Wayans has been cast as Richard Pryor, which I'm quite excited to see, because I feel like he could do it, because he's very, very open. And Richard Pryor has been revealed about, in his book, he revealed a lot of things. But Sagittarius will do everything, okay? Sagittarius is about experiencing life. So it's no hold barred with Sagittarius as far as romance and who they're gonna be with. Anything that interests them, they are down, they are about it, they down with it, and they know how, and they're mainly outdoor type people who love expansive, because they're ruled by what? The planet Jupiter. The planet Jupiter is expansive, it's huge, it's big. You know, it's like, and so you can, and when they walk into the room, so if you're gonna play a character and you're gonna make him or her a Sagittarius, when you walk into the room and on the stage, you got to be all about you. It's about, you know, it's different from Leo, okay? It's different from Leo. But when you walk in, it's about, you know, it's about you. Leo is the sun, but Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Jupiter is bigger, it seems like it's bigger than the sun.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they walk in, it's about, you do it my way, but they do take people on like a project, so they're very caring people. You'll see a lot of them soccer moms, you'll see a lot of them married to very wealthy men. A lot of the men are highly successful financial tycoons. One good example is Berry Gordy. Berry Gordy, who started Motown, had a love child with Diana Ross, who's a what? An Aries, like a little girl, a little bug-eyed little girl from the projects, you know, who was about whatever on the living room floor, wherever she could, you know, do it, because Aries women has a lot of what? Masculine energy. They really don't like hanging around women. The females, they like being around men, and so they handle relationships like that. So if you're playing, I digress and go back to Aries, but Sagittarius is definitely the leader of the pack, and they'll do their best to help you, but they're only going to give you with so many opportunities and chances. The next one is, of course, Aquarius. Is that correct? No, it's Capricorn. Capricorn is an old soul. Capricorn old soul, so they're looking not to work as hard as much, but they work very, very hard, but they don't want to do any unnecessary, so you have to go through something like they're very, very discerning people. So if you're going to play a character that's a Capricorn, they're very discerning. They'll ask you a couple of questions, and they have something called a 5-minute interview. And the 5-minute interview is the Capricorn interview, and they will meet you, and then they say, so what do you do? And they'll listen to what you have, and if they feel like that you are worthy of their time, then they'll be around you. So I'll usually throw them off, because a lot of times Capricorns are fooled, because a lot of people have all the trappings, all right? They have the Rolex watch, they have the $500 suit, they have the $500 shoes, they have all the trappings and the car and everything. And of course, Capricorn is about that money. Okay, so they call two gold diggers are Aries and Capricorn. They're the gold diggers. So if you're gonna play a character, female, then she's a gold digger. She will be hanging at the basketball stadium, or not stadium, but the courts, waiting for the NFL players to come out. Dressed to the nines, looking like pow, 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 okay? That's Capricorn, okay? And they also very, very smart people, the women. Michelle Obama, born on the 17th of January, is a Capricorn, Yep. And she is about what she's about, okay? And she chose this mixed race young man who became president of the United States. And there's a joke out there, everybody, that Michelle and Barack were at a restaurant, and the head chef asked to speak to Michelle Obama. And Michelle Obama went back with the Secret Service, followed her back there, and then she came back, and Barack said, what did he want? She said, oh, well, I used to date him. I was in a very, very serious relationship with him, and he owns this restaurant. And then Barack said, well, good lucky for you, because, you know, you'll be here instead of being the first lady. And she said, no. So she said, no. If he would have married me, he would be president, and you would be working here. So that's how Capricorn get down. Okay? Capricorn is like, no, I made you. Okay? Because Capricorn wants you to do what they want you to do. And they want you to be following their lead, and they always have something to say about how things should be done. But, perfect example, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King had the image of Morehouse, smart, all that, pressed suits and everything like that, but there was a dark side. Capricorn, this characterization, the development of this character, is this, anyone, if you're going to pattern after as Capricorn, they have another side, a dark side, that you can use as far as your character development. They're perfect, everything is perfect. Mary J. Blige is a perfect example of that. The hair is always together, the boots, the clothes, the makeup, everything. But if you listen to her songs, we already know, okay? That's what she's going through. But she don't look that way, but that's a character development trait. So I'm gonna have my character like Mary J. And all the women who are her target audience identify with that type of life. Then we have, of course, we did Aquarius. Now we're done with Aquarius. Aquarius are the futuristic people. They see things. We are in the age of Aquarius. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, all of that. We've been waiting on that. We've been in the age of Pisces for 2,000 years, okay? That's when religion came about, everybody. So, you know, that whole hustle about, you know, the different types of forms of religion and churches, that came from the Piscean era, which was, and Pisces are known as con artists. Yes. They are very, very beautiful people, very, very nice, and everything of that nature, but they can cry real tears. Why is this? Because Pisces encompasses every zodiac sign. So that's why you see a lot of actors like Sidney Poitier, who was born as a Piscean, who had poor Diane Carroll, who was a Cancer, in love. She was born I think she was born on the 17th of July. Yes, she was. And Diane Carroll, you know, changed her whole life to be with Sidney Poitier, who was already married. But Sidney Poitier, just like the fish, one fish is going that way, the other fish is going this way, changed up on her when she divorced her husband and all of that. Of course, years later they reconciled, but to let you know, Pisces can have all the traits of all of the signs, so they can be anything. But they are very, very romantic and beautiful people, but at the same time, they have confusion. So if you want to play a character with some type of confusion about do they want to do this or do they want to do that. Now Libra is different. Libra is trying to find balance. So that characterization would be somebody trying to find balance. But the Piscean is going in one school of direction and one in another direction. And knowing this information makes you a better manager as well. Even if you don't try to be an actor or anything, this workshop with the Garvey Studios Talent Development Workshop is going to be very, very beneficial for you and your business, because you're going to be bringing people into your workstation, and you need to know what buttons to push and what buttons not to push. It has been very, very valuable to me, and I want to share it with you guys during this time on the BAF Solutions Network, because it's necessary. And of course, those are the 12, and it's another zodiac sign out there, which is like a snake or something, but we're going to get into that later. And we're going to go right into the next order of business here is that we're going to get right into the reading of the scene from A Portrait of Marcus Garvey. Now, for those of you who have the wherewithal to want to be a part of that training, you can go to Patreon, Arnold Arts LLC Patreon channel, and download the play, A Portrait of Marcus Garvey, and you can be a part of that. And here is what it looks like. It's just a PDF file. You can bring it down. It's a short 2 acts, and basically you're going to be able to follow along as we look to develop this production, and you can book this play as part of our fundraising efforts here at the BAF. We're going to travel and do readings of the play. I can come, and you can play the roles yourself. So what we want to do is make sure that you get the play, so that way we can travel, Julian and I can travel to your state or wherever you are and do the show, and you can play the roles, okay? We have roles available, and you can be the Army, the UNIA soldiers, and I'll be Garvey, and Julian has a role in it as well, and he has a drumming, and we have Amy Garvey available, and there was 2 Amy's, he married 2 Amy's, Amy Jacques and Amy Ashwood. So 2 female roles. We have Booker T. Washington in the play, and we have W.E.B. Du Bois in the play. So I'm telling you, all of you BAF members who would like to help us with our new Kemet in New Toonsboro, Georgia, and help us build our new Kemet, you can help us with this fundraising effort by having us come to wherever you are to produce A Portrait of Marcus Garvey, because the whole philosophy here at the Black Achievement Fund is based on the philosophies of Marcus Garvey, which is about economic empowerment. Okay, so we're going to go into the scene with the soldier that Julian is reading. Now, Garvey had a different problem. He was a Leo. So I did all that prep to let you know what type of person was a Leo. Leos they're the king. It's my way or the trailway. They don't like to listen to anyone else. So what you have to do with a Leo, and I'll tell you the tricks of the trade, Leos like to feel like they came up with the idea, okay? They're the ones who are responsible. So when I deal with Leo as a life coach, as I deal with people who are born on the sign of Leo, I make suggestions. I don't tell them what to do. I suggest. What happens in this scene is that the suggestion was being made, but he rejected the suggestion because it was about how he felt and how he was about this whole thing. And we're going to see that in the scene. Then we're going to talk about it. And eventually on these live Zoom podcasts, we'll be able to chime in on a chat. But right now we're starting with this. So I'm going to go into character. And it's page, are you ready, King Julian? Page 11. So the scene is set up. Garvey is trying to, I have a different script, yeah. You have the right one, right?
Right, General, I must.
General, General, I must. What's happened is that Garvey he didn't believe in race mixing, okay? He believed that there was a problem with white people. What a perfect time we are producing this play, right? He had a problem with that. So he decided that there should be no race mixing. And that was causing a problem because a lot of people of African American descent were raped. He was coming from Jamaica. He's coming from a whole nother country. They don't know anything about enslavement like the African American knew about enslavement, okay? So that's the problem. So the soldier's saying, well, we losing traction because with this whole thing you're talking about. And Garvey didn't want to hear anything about it. So that's what this scene is about. And we're going to go into that, and then we're going to hear from the soldier about what he thinks about it, and then we're going to close out with a piece from God's Trombones and how I was with the Negro Ensemble Company, which was Denzel Washington, Felicia Rashad, but I'll get into that. So we have one special treat at the end, so stay plugged in the Zoom. So get into the room now if you had to step away. Okay, let's do the scene from A Portrait of Marcus Garvey, General and the Garvey.
General, I must request that you take counsel and consider the advice that has been given on your behalf.
I have no need to listen to anyone who does not see my plan and vision to empower the people.
But is it not the sign of a great leader to consider all options? when one is under attack?
Young man, I have been under attack since I stepped foot in this country. Why should I fear my critics now?
Reports state that President Hoover is clearing the way for your deportation, General.
I will not listen to you anymore on this matter.
If you would not listen to me, your loyal soldier, then who, General? Reports show that you are losing support, that your race purity campaign is destroying the movement.
It was I who created Garveyism, and it is I who will do as I see fit.
No, General, you are wrong. This movement is bigger even than you. It no longer belongs to just one man. It belongs to the people. It shall not die with you, but must live on for generations to come. It has caught fire and burns. Burns as the cross we bear to fight for liberation. Burn as the fire of African pride. Burn after the fire of your life is extinguished. Africa for Africans.
And scene. Okay, everybody. That's a scene from the play. And King Julian, what's your takeaway from this speech he just gave? We know that Garvey was hard and didn't want to hear anything from a younger person. And guess what? You can learn from everyone. You can learn from children. And what happened, the downfall of any organization when you don't listen to your younger members, okay? Know that, elders who are in the room. Know that. You can learn from everyone. So what's your takeaway with this character?
So the first thing I noticed is that last week we did the scene with the soldier and the General Garvey, and the soldier had to pipe down. He had to fall down into his, oh, I am in fault, my general. I apologize. And to my woman, I apologize.
Right.
But this time he actually stood up. He said, no, General, you're wrong.
Yes.
So I actually saw a sense of empowerment to help. He's saying, this is even bigger than you and bigger than me. So he's saying, you know, we must fight together, and it's a burning fire now.
Right, you lit it, right. But now it's bigger than you. It's a flame. It's a forest fire. Mm-hmm. We caught on. He said, yeah, he said it burns. What did he say? It burns. Mm-hmm. Read some of these lines.
Yeah. When he's saying that it no longer belongs to just one man, it belongs to the people. It shall not die with you, but must live on for generations to come. It has caught fire and burns. Burns as the cross we bear to fight for liberation. Burn as the fire of African pride. Burn even after the fire of your life is extinguished. Africa for Africans.
So that means he came into the organization. So this is your character development. He came into the organization, I'm very excited about knowing this great man, right? Then he saw the flaws of this man. And the flaws of this man could destroy everything.
What's crazy to me is the part where he says, reports state that President Hoover is clearing the way for your deportation.
Right.
You know, like I think that was the pivotal moment when because and then he said, I will not listen to you anymore on this matter. It's
He's in denial.
Yeah. If you're not gonna listen to me, then who?
Who you gonna listen to?
Reports that show us, statistics show you're losing your support.
Right.
And your race purity campaign is destroying the movement. So I think that was.
And that's what happened to Garvey. That's what happened to him, everybody. He was, they even reported that he had died when he was in Europe, in London. And the front cover of the page, Garvey dead. He actually saw the paper with him saying that he was dead. And after that, he had a heart attack and died. He could not believe it. That's history. That is history, okay? And so he was brought back to Jamaica and buried with heroes' honors at the end of, after being buried in London, in a London cemetery. He was brought back. But so we're coming down to the close of our program, everybody. But definitely, I want you to get into the game. So what I want you to do is go to Garvey Studios channel on YouTube and look at and download and get God's Trombones so you can work on picking a sermon from God's Trombones, James Weldon Johnson, So you can work on your characterizations using the Astro method, acting method. So it's 7 sermons by James Weldon Johnson, and you'll be able to take those sermons, choose the ones you feel that fits you. You'll see all the sermons. You'll see me doing all the sermons. Then you'll be able to go to download the play for free on the internet. So it's no charge. It's no charge. You have to do a donation for the Garvey play, but for God's Trombones, you have to just download it and pay tribute to James Weldon Johnson. So we're going to watch The Creation, and that's going to be at the end of our session today. But we're here on Garvey Theater Thursdays every Thursday, and with the Garvey Studios Talent Development Workshop. I'm A. Gregory Harris. I started with the Negro Ensemble Company. That's the company that launched the careers of Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson, Felicia Rashad, and the list goes on and on and on. I caught there at the very tail end after leaving North Carolina A&T State University and going up and working in their subscription sales room. I was able to finally get a main stage production in the Broadway Theater District. Technically it's off Broadway because of the number of seats. That's what makes it a Broadway play or off Broadway play. Not the quality of the play, but the number of seats. So enjoy the Negro Ensemble Company's production of God's Trombones with A. Gregory Harris, which is my union name. Arnold Penix is my, I guess, slave name. And definitely A. Gregory Harris is the name that I use in the union. James Weldon Johnson's God's Trombones, The Creation. That's it.